Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings. I would never underestimate. Oh, barely.
Okay, Coach. Well, with the Ohio River and the hills of Kentucky just to our right, we welcome you into Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
Come on, set. 10 Lobo. Pilot, 64, weak.
Stop here, D. Showing it, showing it.
Get it.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Gets this into the hands of Samaje Perine. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Second and 6 at their 48-yard line.
We go.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Second and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up a throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
On the double.
46. 46 to Mike. Bring it. Bring it.
They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
At the 17-yard line.
Second and 9. Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Bengals nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Nixon will try the right side. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
Let's go. 30 base.
59. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
5. Keep dribbling.
He'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
56 is the mic. You got to get the ball. D, get the ball right here. Let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brought down back at the 31-yard line.
He's coming. Double up. Move. He's coming. Double up.
This time Jackson will throw it. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Ravens push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The 305-pound defensive end, Jarrell Casey, gets the sack. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And these guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Jackson, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Come on.
Jackson now throwing again. Eluding the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Matchbox lights. Ready?
Now Joe Mixon. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Fights through, and now a crease. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
I'm coming after you.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
High 7.
2nd and 4. Escapes the sand. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzama. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half. And into the red zone now. And, Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points so you know that all the time during the...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. An 11-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Down to lose one.
Got some room at the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Come on now.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today, a guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the...
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it is 28-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now it's Mixon running right. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they run with Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
Here we go. 30 base.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Hit it.
Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last last drive. Going deep downfield, and this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his third touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season, as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Ready up.
57 to Mike. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Shoot.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Ready? 8, read.
57's the Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They're going to look to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
At their 49-yard line.
Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Jackson from the shotgun. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Ross. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
First down, Baltimore.
Exit.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check the backer.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
Jackson's pass complete to Marquise Brown. Touchdown, Baltimore.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
I got you.
And an alley to run. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A big play there for the Bengals. And even 60 yards.
First and goal at the 9-yard line.
Set. 10 Lobo. General West. Defense, let's get it together.
Going to run the jet sweep. Callaway with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 28.
Makes the score Ravens 42, Bengals 14. Matt Bosher set
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third.
Let them know.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Returnable for Grant. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
On the ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and The defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati,